Did you know that scientists can now predict with startling accuracy how long you'll live past 70 based on just 7 observable factors? What's more shocking? These signs aren't what most people expect. In fact, one study found that people who scored poorly on a simple 10-second balance test were 84% more likely to die within the next 7 years. Stay with me, because knowing these 7 signs could literally add years to your life, or the life of someone you love. Today, we're diving deep into groundbreaking research that has identified 7 scientifically backed indicators that can predict longevity after age 70. These aren't just theories. They're backed by decades of research and thousands of case studies. Whether you're approaching this age yourself or have loved ones who are, understanding these predictors could be the difference between merely existing in later years and truly thriving. Sign 1. Walking speed. The human speedometer. You're walking. Pace might be the single most revealing indicator of how long you'll live. Researchers at the University of Pittsburgh found that elderly adults who walk just 0.1 meters per second slower than their peers face a 12% higher mortality risk. The magic number? 1 meter per second, roughly 2.2 miles per hour. But here's what's fascinating. It's not just about how fast you move. It's what walking speed reveals about your overall system. When you walk, you're engaging your cardiovascular system, nervous system, musculoskeletal system, and even your mental processing. Dr. Stephanie Studensky, who led the Pittsburgh study, calls walking speed a window into the entire system. Think about it. Have you noticed how some 80-year-olds zip around while others shuffle? That's not coincidence. That's biology giving us clues. Are you walking slower than you did 5 years ago? This might be your body's first warning sign. Sign 2. Grip strength. The handshake of fate. When doctors measure grip strength, they're not just testing your handshake. They're peering into your future. A landmark study published in The Lancet followed over 140,000 people across 17 countries and found something remarkable. For every 5-kilogram decrease in grip strength, the risk of death from any cause increased by 16%. The correlation was stronger than even blood pressure as a predictor of mortality. Why? Because grip strength isn't just about muscles. It's an indicator of overall vitality, nerve function, and cellular health. In nursing homes across America, grip strength tests have become standard practice. A 95-year-old with a strong grip might outlive a 75-year-old with weakness by years, sometimes decades. One particularly striking case involved Harold, a 92-year-old veteran with the grip strength of a man in his 60s. His doctors predicted he would reach 100, and he surpassed it, celebrating his 101st birthday surrounded by 3 generations of family. You might want to pay attention to the next sign, as it's one that most people completely overlook. Sign 3. Balance ability. The 10-second test, can you stand on one leg for 10 seconds with your eyes open? Your answer could reveal more than you think. A 2022 study published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine found that adults over 70 who couldn't complete this simple test had an 84% higher risk of death within the next 7 years. The test is deceptively simple. Stand on one leg, place the foot of your other leg against your calf, and hold for 10 seconds. No hopping, no arm flailing. Balance requires the perfect integration of your visual system, your inner ear, proprioception, knowing where your body is in space, and muscle strength. When these systems start to deteriorate, balance is often the first casualty, and it happens years before other, more obvious signs of aging. The good news? Balance can be improved at any age. Studies show that even 90-year-olds can significantly enhance their balance with targeted exercises. One remarkable case study followed an 87-year-old woman who improved her one-leg stand time from 2 seconds to 55 seconds after just 12 weeks of balance training. Wonder if you'll be around to see your grandchildren graduate. The next predictor might give you a clue. Sign 4. Social connections. The friendship factor. This one might surprise you, but the research is undeniable. A meta-analysis published in PLOS Medicine revealed that having strong social relationships increases survival chances by 50%. That's comparable to quitting smoking and more significant than obesity or physical inactivity. Dr. Robert Waldinger, director of the Harvard Study of Adult Development, the longest-running study on happiness and health, puts it bluntly: loneliness kills. It's as powerful as smoking or alcoholism. The mechanisms are both psychological and physiological. Social isolation triggers chronic inflammation, increases stress hormones like cortisol, and weakens immune function. Meanwhile, meaningful connections release oxytocin and other bonding hormones that reduce inflammation and promote cellular repair. Consider the blue zones, regions where people commonly live past 100. One consistent factor across these diverse cultures? Deep social integration. In Okinawa, Japan, they have a concept called moai, social support groups that last for life. Members commit to each other for both emotional and practical support into old age. You won't believe how the next sign affects your longevity, and it's something most doctors never mention. Sign 5. Pulmonary function, the breath of life. How well you breathe predicts how long you'll live. A 29-year study published in the journal Chest found that lung function was a better predictor of longevity than age, smoking status, blood pressure, or cholesterol levels. The measurement to watch: forced vital capacity, FVC. Essentially, how much air you can forcefully exhale after taking a deep breath. For every liter decrease in FVC, mortality risk increases by approximately 30%. Why is breathing so critical? Every cell in your body needs oxygen to function. When oxygen delivery becomes compromised, even slightly, cellular damage accumulates faster than your body can repair it. This accelerates aging across all systems. A fascinating aspect of this research is how malleable lung function can be, even in your 80s and 90s. A study at the Veterans Affairs Medical Center in Buffalo showed that elderly patients increased their lung capacity by 18% after just 6 weeks of respiratory muscle training. The next predictor might seem obvious, but the specific number that matters will surprise you. Sign 6. Nutritional status. The protein paradox. We all know nutrition matters, but specific aspects of your diet become increasingly critical after 70. The most surprising? Protein intake. A study in the Journal of Gerontology followed adults over 65 for 18 years and found that those who consumed the least protein were almost twice as likely to die prematurely. The optimal amount? At least 1.2 grams per kilogram of body weight daily, significantly higher than the standard recommendation of 0.8 grams. Why does protein become more crucial as we age? Sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, accelerates dramatically after 70, with most people losing 3 to 8% of their muscle mass per decade. Without adequate protein, this process speeds up, leading to weakness, falls, and ultimately increased mortality. Even more surprising is what researchers call the obesity paradox. After age 70, being slightly overweight, BMI 25 to 29, is associated with lower mortality than being normal weight. The theory? Extra weight provides metabolic reserves during illness or stress. Before I reveal the final and perhaps most powerful sign, have you noticed any changes in these factors in yourself or loved ones? The patterns might already be telling you something important. Sign 7. Cognitive flexibility. The adaptable mind. The final predictor might be the most powerful of all. Cognitive flexibility. Your brain's ability to adapt to new situations and solve novel problems. A 20-year study from Rush University Medical Center followed over 1,000 elderly adults and found that those with higher cognitive flexibility lived significantly longer, even after controlling for physical health factors. The difference? Up to 4.3 additional years of life. What's fascinating is that cognitive flexibility isn't the same as intelligence or education. It's specifically about mental adaptability, how well you navigate change, learn new skills, or approach unfamiliar situations. This explains why people who continue learning new skills after retirement, whether it's a language, musical instrument, or technology, show dramatically slower cognitive decline. Each new challenge creates alternative neural pathways, building what scientists call cognitive reserve. One remarkable case involved Eleanor, who at 85 started learning computer programming. After never having used a computer, brain scans showed her developing new neural connections that researchers believe contributed to her living to 103, mentally sharp, until her final days. The implications are profound. Keeping your brain challenged isn't just about staying mentally sharp, it's about staying alive longer. Did you catch that earlier point about walking speed? Just a 0.1 meter per second difference could mean years added to or subtracted from your life. That's the difference between casual strolling and purposeful walking. Think about the older people in your life. Have you noticed any of these signs in them? More importantly, have you noticed them in yourself? Here's a question worth considering. Which of these 7 signs do you think would be easiest to improve? Because the research shows that none of these factors are fixed. All can be enhanced at any age. Remember that balance test I mentioned earlier? Why not try it right now? Stand up, lift one foot, and see if you can hold it steady for 10 seconds. The result might surprise you and motivate you. You might be wondering which of these 7 signs is the strongest predictor of all. I'll reveal that surprising answer in just a moment. Don't miss what's coming up next. I'm about to share 3 specific strategies that have been shown to improve all 7 of these longevity predictors simultaneously. Stay with me because after covering all 7 signs, I'll explain how these scientific findings align with traditional wisdom from cultures with the highest concentration of centenarians. We've explored 7 scientifically validated signs that can predict longevity after 70: walking speed, grip, strength, balance ability, social connections, pulmonary function, nutritional status, and cognitive flexibility. However, what's truly remarkable about this research is that these aren't just diagnostic tools. They're roadmaps for intervention. Every single one of these factors can be improved at any age. A 95-year-old can enhance their balance. An 80-year-old can increase their lung capacity. A 75-year-old can strengthen their grip. The human body maintains its remarkable adaptability far longer than we once believed. Perhaps the most powerful insight from all this research is that a single factor doesn't determine longevity. It's the integration of physical, mental, and social well-being. The people who live longest don't just have strong muscles or sharp minds or rich relationships. They have all 3. So the question isn't just, how long will you live? It's, how will you live? Because the science is clear. The choices you make today about how you move, what you eat, who you connect with, and how you challenge your mind are writing the story of your future. What will your story be? The power to shape it lies largely in your hands. At any age,